Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today with a quick bonus video for you. It's time for CR News. We have 3 items of news to talk about today, starting with the obvious, the Royal Giant buff. That's right, it was confirmed on Clash Royale's YouTube channel just an hour ago from this recording that Royal Giant will indeed be getting a buff. Now, if you guys want even more insight into why they're making that decision, I will include about a 2-3 minute clip of a Rum Ham, aka Seth from the Supercell team, interview that I conducted about a month ago now, where he specifically talks about why he's decided to buff the Royal Giant. So guys, how do you feel about this? I think my opinion is there's no denying that the Royal Giant is not a good card unless he's over leveled. He has really abysmal win rates on challenges and tournament level standard, as Rum Ham mentions, the competitive side of the game. But should they? I actually put out a video a few days ago about this topic. What should Supercell be balancing? Who should Supercell be balancing for? What about ladder? What about Expo? That's the first thing that came into my head, guys. Now, who knows? We don't know the rest of the balance changes just yet. We do know that the Royal Giant is going to see a 60% damage buff. That's incredible. A range nerf from 6.5 to 5 tiles. We don't know if there's anything else stat-wise that's going to be touched at this point. At least I haven't seen it if it is. But man, the first thing I thought about is even against an Expo player, the rework of the Royal Giant does nothing to benefit the Expo player. It just makes life an absolute living hell if they have to go against more Royal Giants, and Expo already wasn't in the best spot. I know I'm harping on here a lot about Expo, but picture 60% more damage on every single blow from that Royal Giant. I do expect the Expo maybe to also get a buff in the balance changes. We'll probably know them today or tomorrow or this weekend. They are coming the first Monday of every season, which will be in a few days. So I hope they're going to be buffing the Expo to compensate for that. We also know that the Ice Wizard is getting a buff. Surprisingly, another card that I thought was a little bit unnecessary to get a buff. So circling back to the Royal Giant, I don't know how I feel about this, guys. Like I said, there's no denying that he needed a buff, but at the same time, I'm not going to lie. I have to be honest with you guys. I still kind of fear for ladder here, and I fear for free-to-play, and I fear for Expo competitively. So those are my concerns. Rum Ham makes the argument that because the new nature of the card, only 5 tile range, it will be a little bit easier to counter. You'll have way more time to counter it and space to counter it in that tile range. He shows Barbarians in the Supercell video countering the Royal Giant now before he can get a hit off. But I don't know, to me that seems like a little bit of a perfect world scenario. Usually they'll have those Ice Spirits that furnace the minions right in back of that Royal Giant and provide some support for the Royal Giant to get to the tower. Now, I don't want the card to be dead. I don't want to. So I'm going to go ahead and give them the benefit of time. They said they put a lot of time and energy into this playtesting, probably more so than any other balance they've ever made in the game. So I'm going to trust that they're making the right decision there. But to be honest, I also remain very skeptical. Number 2 that we're going to talk about, news item number 2, is going to be new leaks for the hero cards. Now, the hero cards have been long rumored to be entered into the game, but it looks like we might be getting closer to actually seeing that happen if you see these leaks here from OpenJet Studios that have been posted on Facebook recently. You can see the images of the actual hero cards. Now, the Queen has a placeholder card image. Sometimes they don't always use the same images or sprites. These might not be final, and disclaimer, I do not know, and this does not mean they are confirmed to be coming into the game. These are just leaks inside the client code, so there is some credibility to them, meaning they are built into the game. They have been data mined out of the game. These are not just, you know, random speculation. So we're seeing the ability. It looks like, again, you have a special deck slot for the heroes above your regular 8 cards. So it looks like you'll be able to play them perhaps in addition to your 8 cards. Either way, that would be a big game-changing kind of mechanic and dynamic to account for, especially in competitive play. Well, heck, everywhere in the game if we had heroes added. Now, it looks like once you deploy a hero onto the arena, you'll be able to click their card and activate a secondary ability. It looks like early on, the Barbarian King can summon barbarians around him and go into somewhat of a rage, similar to the Barbarian in Clash of Clans. We'll have to wait and see exactly what the abilities are. He also has a cheaper elixir immune ability. That's right, it sounds like you'll pay extra elixir once they're already on the battlefield to activate additional abilities. It's a little bit more of a complex addition to the game, and it will add all sorts of interesting interactions and stuff that we've never really had to think about before. That's if, again, they are coming to the game. What do you guys think about the hero idea? The last thing that I want to talk about today, guys, someone's not a big fan of it. I saw the -1 subscriber. Someone's, Ash, heroes, unsubscribe. All right, so in all jokes aside, the last news I want to get to, guys, is something that I wasn't sure if I was going to mention because I don't want to make this a bigger deal than it is, but it is the clan war glitch. I talked about this on my previous news video, and I made a promise to you guys, and I plan on standing by that promise, and that is that Supercell said about a half an hour window or so, 20 minutes to a half an hour, a bunch of clans, I think 350-ish clans were affected, were able to get unlimited clan war rewards and tokens and gold. So they went back and they've removed most of the stats, especially the clan stats, but they've never, to my knowledge, addressed what they've done with these three, well, 10 up to 11,000 hypothetically. It's definitely lower than that, but that's the number of people that could hypothetically be in 350 plus clans. 10,000, let's just call it, 3,000, 5,000. What have they done to those accounts? Because let's be honest, it's not fair if they took advantage of the glitch and maxed out their accounts. I'm not blaming the players. Probably they couldn't even do anything to prevent it, and before they realized what was going on, it was only 20 minutes, they were maxed, or they had a lot of gold and a lot of trade tokens, right? So I don't think there's a large group of players who took advantage of this, but I do think it should be followed up with. And Supercell themselves said they would follow up on this and report back to us and let us know what they did about these accounts that were able to cheat the system. Again, not the players, but the accounts. So who's to blame here? Well, obviously it was Supercell's glitch, so they ought to really fix it. Now, I want to report back to you guys. I have followed up with Supercell, asking them what is going to be done about this. I've also, keep my eyes peeled onto Reddit, and I have not seen anything. Furthermore, they have not gotten back to me regarding the solution or the resolution, to this glitch, to this issue. Now, they have no obligation to get back to CWA YouTube on what they're going to do about it, so maybe it already has been addressed. But I'm not sure, and I wanted to stand by my word and report back to you guys because I said I would promise that I would follow up on this. So guys, I'll keep you updated as the year goes on if I have any updates regarding the clan war glitch, but I think it's fair for not only me, but also the entire community to know what the final resolution was. So guys, those are my 3 news items. As promised, I want to go ahead and send you off with a clip from the Rum Ham interview that I conducted again about 3 weeks ago. So guys, enjoy that. Huge shout out to my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. Check out his information in the description below, along with Stats Royale. So guys, thank you and enjoy the interview. Arbs and Archie for a sec. First off, I don't even know where to start, but first off, answer me this, like at one point in time, like 6 months ago or so, right around the time that you came on board with Supercell, I think it was Tim or somebody mentioned that there was potentially going to be a Royal Giant buff coming in the future. We still haven't seen that, but I want to ask you about the buff, and if the rumors are true, why, and what are your thoughts, elaborate more on both of those cards, and just especially the damage that they're doing to people on ladder in the 3,000 to 5,000 trophy range.
Sure. Well, we are currently working on a Royal Giant. I don't want to say buff because I would say it's more of a rework.
I was bracing myself.
Well, it is a buff in a way. Like ideally, Royal Giant would be like 10% better because its use rates in challenges, and its win rates in challenges are really abysmal. Like, they're not where you want them to be for a win condition. And even on ladder, even though Royal Giant is typically thought of as like a ladder terror, there's only one gap, 4,000 to 4,500, where Royal Giants even meet an average use rate. At every other section of the ladder, they are below average use rate. Not a particularly strong card, and as most people will attest to, you only see like level 12 and 13 Royal Giants. It's not like you're playing against even equally leveled Royal Giants, whereas you might see an equal level Hog or whatever at the same.
Yeah, they're only good if
range.
over leveled.
Correct.
And then they're annoying.
So Royal Giant is a problem because even though it is not a very good card, it is a very frustrating design. So while I want to make it something like 10% better, it's not a card that we can just be like, 10% more health, all done here, because it doesn't solve a lot of the underlying problems with what makes the card so frustrating. So we've been working on a rework that is going to change multiple stats at the same time and hopefully allow it to be a more powerful card if unanswered, but giving you more opportunities to answer and defend against it so that it doesn't feel like it's really oppressive and just locks onto your tower right away and is one of those cards that's just really, really frustrating to deal with. That could be coming before the end of the year, ideally, because we've been testing it a lot. We're handling it very delicately because, of course, we know Royal Giant is a controversial card, but that's something that could be coming by the end of the year.